Hello and welcome to another video. So, knocked my camera. So, I've had a lot of requests on how I did the non-metallic on GoTrek. And the camera's having issues thingy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick video now with how I did it. And I'm going to do it on this Stormcast Eternal leg, just down here. I've been playing around with the sword, not overly happy with it. So, playing around with this leg. So what we're going to do is we're going to base coat the leg Dark Reaper. Alright, let's just get that locked in. Just like so. So you're probably going to need at least probably 2 coats. So what I'll do is I'll skip forward and get these fully coated. So that has now got a solid base coat of Dark Reaper. So what we want to do now is we want to get some Thunderhawk blue, and we just want to sketch in where our highlights are going to be. So you want just a highlight down the front here. You want this so highlighted at the top there. Okay. And you sort of just want to bring the highlights in. Not really too much worried. You're not really worried too much about being neat at this point. Just about getting the highlights on. Okay. And then leave a, so the way, essentially what you want is you want to sort of have a highlight, have a gap, and then like that. Okay, and then the top of the foot. So again, top of the foot here, and then you want it down at the bottom of the foot here. And then just a nice highlight here. Now this thing here, the lion's head on his knee, you just want to pick out the highest points. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to make a mix of about 50-50 Dark Reaper Thunderhawk blue. We'll make a glaze, and then what we want to do is just pull that glaze into across the edges of where our highlights were, just across, just to blend those in and sort of fix the transition a little bit. I'll drop down to a smaller brush. Ooh, dropping all my brushes everywhere. Alright, this may take a couple of coats, But what you'll get is you'll just soften that transition out. Right, so now what we do is we get some Uthwan white and mix it into the Thunderhawk blue. And again, just like we did before, we want to start bringing these highlights in. If you put them on, you can just feather the edges out. Just like that. And then obviously on the top of here. Now remember, you've got, the thing with non-metallics is you've got lots of different shapes of the armor. So it's how that's going to react to the light. So you've got that one there, and then you've got this one on the top, and then you've got this one at the bottom. All right. And then you also got this highlight along this edge. And the same with this foot, because you've got a highlight on this side of the foot, you've got a highlight down here. Like so. Alright. And then this highlight you can just bring slightly down. Again, we can tidy it all up with some glazes shortly. And then here. And then here. Just to strengthen that highlight. Sorry about that. Got a bit of chest infection. And then just here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip forward a little bit and then I'll tell you what I did. So I'll be right back. I'm back. So what I've done is kind of sketched in the highlights a little bit more, so it's pretty rough. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get some black and I'm going to get a little bit of dark reaper and I'm going to make a sort of glaze almost. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start glazing in some of these shadows. So we need to start defining where the shadow areas are. So just nice glaze. Just bring that in. Sorry again. And on the top of the foot, just bring it up to the halfway point. Like so. And then in here. And what you want to do is this is essentially going to start creating the contrast. And the contrast is what we want to achieve. Now you can put a little bit up here, thin line, and a thin line there as well. And then just a really thin glaze. Just like this. All right, and you can already start seeing it looks a little bit shiny. And you just want to get that darker color into the shadow areas just to make it pop. And around the back here, we haven't really tidied that up, but we'll get that in there in a minute. All right. All right, just like that. And then what you can do, just again in here, just define some of the shadowy areas. Now this sort of line part is going to be quite annoying because there's a lot of shapes going on. So what I'll do is I'll spend most of the time doing that off camera, because it is going to be quite tedious to get it right. But what we do, get a little bit more ultraline grey, and we want to now push those highlights a little bit more. All right, so you want to just get it here like that, and you want this highlight to run right across the top, and then just leave it a little gap there at the side, and then just bring it in. So it's still looking quite rough, but you'll be able to just get that like that. And now the big highlight in the middle, just concentrate that to the center. Like so. Alright, and then on the top of the foot. So what you're wanting to do is you really, with these highlights, you're wanting to start to push that transition up. Alright, still pretty rough, so we're going to smooth everything out shortly. Alright, and then so it would be at this stage now where I would be very tempted to start blacklining it, just so you can get that sort of the darkness. Now this highlight here, I would make a little bit bigger, and then feather this out. The good thing is, once that's done, what you can then do is just get some of the initial shadow glaze and just glaze, and then just smooth it over that transition to get that like that. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start blacklining, and what you're going to see is you're going to start seeing things really start sharpening up. So I want to run pure black paint right into the recesses like this. Okay, and also you want a black line just underneath this highlight. And you're probably thinking, why would you want a black line just underneath that highlight? Because it will create contrast. All right, and we're going to be putting a highlight underneath that as well, just like that. And then here you just want the black line like that, and then this black line. What the black line does is it kind of it breaks up all the surfaces into little parts, so when you look at it, it'll look a lot more metallic like. And the best way to learn how to do non-metallics is to actually look at other metallics, real life metallic surfaces. So when you're out with your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and you sit and you're out for a walk, or you're in the town going shopping or going to your local GW, just look at reflective surfaces and sort of make a mental note of where all of the where all of the things are and how it's working. Like I said, what I'll do is I'll try to do the most of this off camera, because yeah, it's going to be a bit of a ball ache to try to explain how to do it, so I may have to come backwards and forwards to get it to look good. But essentially, that's what you want. Right, so now you can see how the black lining is really sort of making that stand out. So what you can do is you can get some more Ulthline grey. So you're almost a pure Ulthline grey at this stage, and then we can really sort of push those highlights a little bit more. Again, you want right on the edge. And just feather that out like that. Now this highlight down the center here, that's what you want. And then just a little bit, just follow that line, just like that. And then on the top, okay, and then again, just down here on the bottom. Right, and then this part here on the top. So you're starting to see that sort of metallic steel look starting to come out now. And why is because we've got like a blue grey, and what we're going to do is we're going to add even more contrast into this by adding some brown. And then down here. What I'm going to do is I can continue pushing these highlights a little bit more. I'll do a little bit more on this, and then I'll jump forward and then I'll show you where I am. Okay, that's me back. So I've pushed up the highlights a little bit more. So as you can see, it's starting to look pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to darken down my initial glaze that I used for the shadows. And I want it to be a little bit more black. And then with that glaze, I just want to bring that glaze right to the tops, closest to where the highlight is. And the reason why is I want to really sort of get that contrast between the two colours. You can sort of just run the glaze on the side of the feet, and then the glaze here down this side here, I just want to really push that shadow, nice thin shadow, just using the tip of your brush like that. Alright, and then because we're going to do something cool in a minute, and you want to just push this shadow here, and again just get that shadow underneath there. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to ignore the top part because it'll be so much easier for you. Okay, so it's really starting to look like some steel non-metallic. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get some Rhinox hide. I'm going to make a nice glaze, And out of that Rhinox hide, what we're going to do is we're going to start adding this Rhinox hide into the shadows. And now you're probably thinking, if I'm doing metal, why am I adding Rhinox hide? Well, the Rhinox hide is got like a reddy tone to it. So what that does is it will add contrast into the metal. So as you can see straight away where I've done it, it starts to sort of do strange things to your eyes in regards to how it's viewing the colour. So it's kind of tricking your brain in thinking that that's an actual grey. And what you can do is just where the shadows are, and just nice glaze, not too much. Now you can use Rhinox hide, you can use Doom Brown if you want a more of a sort of more of a reddier brown, but this works nice. You can also add some purples, you could add some reds if you really wanted to. But I found some Rhinox hide just in there. All right. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to do one last highlight and just mix some white ink into your initial highlight mix. And then we're going to put those highlights in. To the tops. So I'll jump forward and get that done. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some edge highlighting, and what you want to do with these edge highlights is I use white acrylic inks. So what you want to do is you want to get a black spot pretty much in the shadow areas. And we're going to do a lot of edge highlighting in a minute. But you just want to get some white spots. And what this will do is it'll sort of just really sort of make the surface pop. Kind of just want one up here. Alright. And you just get these little rivets up here. And then bring that edge highlight up, and this is the fun part. You're going to get these, and then you want to, you can put a little line there. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump forward and get all of the head highlights done and show you what it's like at the end. So I'll be right back. Hello, so that is all of the edge highlighting done. Let me just get this zoomed in properly. There you go. So that's all of the edge highlighting done. And you can see I had a couple of spot highlights, put some highlights up on the top. And I'm really pleased with that. That's some really cool looking non-metallic metal. So I hope you really liked the video. Feel free to jump down to the links below and like my page. You can be a real cool guy and girl and like the channel, subscribe, like the video, ring that bell just so that YouTube notifies you when I release up new videos. And yeah, this was awesome. Really loved doing it. Really loved it. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye for now. Bye bye.